everybody, it is book week here on choreochaos. We're going to be talking about books specifically that don't have like big fandoms to kind of let y'all know about, some things you may not have heard of that we think are really good. I am going to be talking to you about one of my favorite books ever in the history of the printed word, called The House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. The story follows the life of a boy named Mateo Alecran. Mateo, or Matt for short, lives in a country called Opium. Opium is located between the United States and what used to be called Mexico, but is now called Aztlan. How do you pronounce that word? Mexico's called something different now. I can't find the word and I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's called something different now. Anyway, Opium is basically a giant poppy field. I live in Opium and live on this ranch that Matt lives on. Harvest the poppy and make opium. Basically, it's a drug country. Now, Matt leads kind of an unusual life. He lives with someone he assumes is his mother in this little side house far away from the main house on the ranch. And he's never allowed outside. He can't play with the other children in the family. He doesn't get out at all. And he doesn't know why. One day he makes his escape and he cuts his foot, basically he breaks through the window and he cuts his foot in the process. People take him inside and they're gonna fix him up, but then when they go to look at his foot, they see this tattoo that says property of the Alecran estate. He's immediately not treated like a person anymore, but just like as some dumb, stupid animal. And he's put in a room and filled with like sawdust for him to, do his business in and whatever. And he's just left in there like they treat him like crap. As it turns out, Matt is a clone of the head of the family, El Patron. When El Patron finds out that they've been treating Matt like this, he's like, bros, what are y'all doing? Get my clone out of that nasty room and bring him to me so that I can take care of him properly like y'all bitches obviously don't know how to do. So Matt, who's been living in this house on the estate with his mother, suddenly goes from a nobody that no one knows exists to this really prominent, respected, well, supposed to be respected member of the family. But do they respect him? Of course they don't, because he's a clone. And therein lies the problem. See, El Patron has had other clones before, tons of clones, and basically what he does is he has these clones of himself raised, and so every time another one of his organs shuts down, he just takes it from the clone, because who cares? It's a dirty clone. And so he's like, I don't even remember how old he is, but he's like really old, like well into his hundreds. When Matt finds out about this, he, of course, is terrified because what's gonna stop El Patron from eventually using him for organs? Now, the book isn't just about the ethics of cloning, it's also about slavery. The people who work the estate and harvest the poppy for the opium are called Egypts. They've had a chip implanted in their brain that basically turns them into zombies. They literally cannot eat, drink, sleep, sit down, anything. They cannot do anything without a direct command. So they just send all these people with these chips in their brains out into the fields all day, and if one of them keels over, well, oh well, they did something to get the chip in their brain in the first place. Who cares? So with Matt being a clone and the Egypts only following orders because the chip in their brain tells them this is what they're gonna do now, the book raises a lot of interesting questions about personhood. Since this is a YA book, it's done in a way that's really easy to wrap your head around, and the cast of characters is so dynamic and intriguing that you get a bunch of different perspectives on everything. And I love it so much. It's genius and beautiful and thought-provoking and interesting, and it just, every single time people ask me for book recommendations, I put this one on the list because I am so in awe of how incredible this novel is. And if I ever meet Nancy Farmer, I'm going to give her the biggest hug ever for writing this beautiful novel. I love it so much. My baby! And in case you don't trust the opinion of some random 20-year-old girl on the internet who can't stop reading YA books, please pay attention to the medals on the front of this book. This is the National Book Award, this is the Newbery Honor, and this badass right here is the freaking Prince Award! They don't give those out to just any books. Ask John Green. Prince Award. Holy crap. So yeah, House of the Scorpion Amazing, amazing, amazing book, and you should go out and buy it and read it immediately. Immediately. Blah, 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 blah. Right now. I can't talk. This book makes me not able to words good. Ah! Ah! I opened up the book just to a random page to see what I read, and the first thing I saw was he'd become a man. No, that was wrong. Since he wasn't a boy to begin with, he couldn't turn into a man. He was an adult clone. No, I hate you! Oh, this book!